See, this is the similar project which I did once. Here I have used both the V's. Uh, you were ended. Uh, 1 minute. Yes. Isa, can you see this part?
Yes.
Yeah, in our time management project which you had in that identity config, if you open the identity config at your end, you will see you have configured the authentication user manager, which is the identity config itself is using code first approach in which when we run a project, it by default creates some tables for you, like for the ASP.NET users roles table. Okay, if we want to extend that functionality and we need to add some more tables uh, to serve the our needs, means I want to add more tables, then we can go over this, like we can extend that concept. Like I have added a new class application db context here. Okay,
Yes.
and I am inheriting identity db context.
Okay.
Let me show you the animation. See, identity DB context is a defined in the DLL of the identity.entity framework.
Okay.
Okay, and now what I did, I am inheriting this class identity DB context, and in this I am passing the application user class.
Okay.
Okay, and this application user class is holding the new tables which I want to create. Like I want to create a new table named verification method, like this. I'll define the properties of that. Next, I want to create a new table of password history, something uh, something like that. And I am defining the models for the tables which I want to add on. Means when a new database being created, those default tables, I want to add on some more tables. So in order to do that, we have to do, we have to extend the functionality of that. So the same thing I did here. Like I have defined the models for all the tables which I want to add. You understand the code first and database first approaches?
What was that question?
I'm saying that, do you understand the database first approach and code first approaches of entity framework?
No.
Uh, Let me tell you about the approaches first. In entity framework, we follow three approaches in order to create the database.
Okay.
One is code first approach, one is database first approach, and last one is model first approach.
I think I understand what the database first approach, because usually I go into the database and create the tables, right? But I haven't tried the code first or the model first approach.
Okay, in the code first approach, what we do, first we write the C sharp classes
Okay.
corresponding to which we want to create the database.
Okay.
Like here I did. The very first thing which we did is I created like for which we I need the same way I need to create the tables.
Okay.
Like here, a new class. I want to add one new table verification method.
Mhm.
What we did, I created a new class. Okay. Now I need some columns in that, like verification method ID, verification method name, and all those tables I have defined here.
Okay.
Now I need now I need its relation to the other table that we can, like navigation property, you can say, the primary and foreign key relation. In order to do that, we need to add a property which is referring to the other table, like the application users. Means a verification method can have multiple application users. That's why I have defined a list here which contains the application user, and this way we can have a verification method with a multiple application users.
Hmm.
Okay, so now when a table being created with a verification method, you can add multiple application users corresponding to the verification method ID.
Okay.
Okay, similarly we can go over this path, another tables you want to create. Means
Okay.
one more table we can add. Okay, this is the code first approach. Means first we are writing and a project, then database being created in the DB without any SQL script. The SQL script will be generated behind the scene by the entry framework when we are defining a DB context and DB set, which I'll explain you next. First, I just wanted to explain you that how we can define the models for our entities. Here, entity is termed as a table.
Okay.
Okay,
So
and
can we try it? Can we try it using the code that I sent you?
yes, let me explain you the one more concept before we go to try that.
Okay.
Mm, 1 minute, please.
Mhm.
See, this is the main part where the control comes first. When we define the models, then you need to do this setting in the main file you have. Like here, I have defined a drop create database if model changes property or
Okay.
class, we can say. Uh, See, this is also defined in the entity. This is defined. This time it is defined in the entity framework DL. I have referred the Entity Framework 6 version, and this in this when a project run first time, the controls comes out to here when I am using application DB initializer. What this do, it will check if the database already exists or not, and also it will check if is there any model changes, means I have added another property in the classes I have created or not. Then it will drop and create a database if any model changes. You can define some other uh, you can define the settings here, like every time you run your project you want the database to be created every time, means drop create always. You
Okay.
can easily drop create if any model changes, means if you are adding a new property then a new database should be created.
I see.
Okay, so these are the points being provided in the in this. So the reference link I will give you in order to go in more details.
Okay. So so the first thing we need to do is create a model of the
Yes.
database table that we want to be created. Then we need to create a class that inherit from drop create database, whatever condition we want, and then do stuff
Yes.
for it. Okay. So so I guess we can try it now.
Okay.
So can you switch over to the code?
Okay.
Oh, I don't see your screen anymore. Okay. Where is this? Oh, it's in App Start. Do I have to write everything in that? Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Steve, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. I'm saying that I'll create. We have already identity model class here in the models folder. You can see.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'll do, I'll create a new model here.
I see. So then, for example, I want, so then I will create like public class, prefer working hour DB context, inherit it from the identity DB context, right?
Yes, you already have that class here. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Here, see in the models folder, we have identity models class.
Yes.
Okay. Now, uh, now we can define a new class here.
A new class is for a new table, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so then that one will be like public class, prefer working hour, DB context.
Okay.
So, okay. And then so it references the application user. So that
Okay.
would be like public application user and then application user, right? That's a foreign constraint.
Yes. We will create a navigation property here.
The virtual is telling it the foreign constraint.
Yes.
Oh, I see. And then we need like a public like date time, start time, and public date
Yeah.
time, end
First,
time.
yeah. First, we need to define a key of this table means ID.
How does it know that that is the key?
Uh, we need to define it as a key. Like we need to define a property filter.
I
This Friday. Hey, hey, come here.
Oh, so just that attribute. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Or we can also define some more properties like you want this ID field to be auto incremented. Like we need to add a identity field to this so that you can do like
Is there an E between the N and the R?
here.
And what do I Google to know um, the the options available for the
Yeah, I'll send
attribute?
you. Yeah, I'll send you the link after the call where you can refer in more detail about generating the code first database approach.
Okay. Oh, okay. So Google generating code first
You can
database
you
approach.
can search entity framework code first approach.
I see. Entity framework or first approach. Got it.
Yes.
Okay. And
Or
then
I
we will then do public date time start time and then public date time end time and then create another class, right?
Yeah. Have you disconnected from the Skype?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Okay, next we can create one more property. Like what you were saying?
Excuse me?
Yeah, what you were saying for the next property?
Date time, start time, and date time, end time.
Adulter.
Fine. Is that fine, Esther?
Yes, that's correct.
Esther, actually, I got to go right now because I got late from my office. So, can we connect tomorrow? We have already wasted much of our time today.